Hi guys, it's Anna here. In today's video I'm going to try to paint this little landscape in pastel from a reference photo I found on Pinterest. I will leave the link in the description so you can check it out and paint along with me. This is going to be a real-time painting and I will be leaving some comments along the way. So if you want, just grab a piece of sanded paper or not and some pastels, soft and hard, or from soft pastels, all soft pastels but soft and hard pastels and just join me. So here I am using pastelmat paper. All the links, all the materials will be linked below too if you want to check it out. But this is pastelmat paper. This is kind of a greenish, gray-green tone. And right now I am using art pastels to sketch it somehow, to give me like a map so I know what's going where. I am kind of trying to make a composition that might work. Like it's a very busy image. You could do like just the house and the lake and not put these flowers on the foreground, but in here I just used the composition of the photo actually, because it attracted me. Like when you're scrolling down the Pinterest and the photos are so little, if you see it's like well, actually also on the computer they're like thumbnails, and that's really helpful. Like for it's like a thumbnail for the painting, and you can see what attracts you and what not. That's a very helpful thing for me. So in here I stopped using the hard pastels. They're not from Prismacolor. These ones are not new pastels. They are Conte pastels, and they are art too. I just think Prismacolor new pastels are so expensive and these weren't, so I tried this one. They are good. I can't compare it with the new pastels because I don't have them. I've never used them, but these are cool to do the same thing. So I'm doing kind of an underpainting. I am using the local colors for this underpainting, but afterwards I am going to use I'm going to do an alcohol wash. So you can do a bunch of types of underlayers, if any. So you can do it, not do it, or do it in so many different ways. In this case I was going to do it just the normal painting, but then I decided like to dilute the first layer with the rubbing alcohol, and make it like painterly and give it a color background. And I can do it with art pastels or soft pastels. Here I am using a mix of art pastels and soft pastels. So as you can see later, I'm using the local color, meaning it's the color of the thing I'm painting. Like if I'm painting grass, I am using green. If I'm painting the flowers, I'll be using purple. And the sky, I'm already using the colors of what I'm painting, so that's kind of the definition of the local color. I am using very soft colors for the sky. Then the mountains could be a little lighter, because if you want things to go further back, they should be dull and lighter in tone. But I just I just thought this contrast was nice, and I want the viewer, maybe here the star of this pastel painting is the flowers, because they're really on your face and they have a lot of detail. But I didn't want the viewer just to look at the flowers and don't look at the rest, so that contrast far back in the mountains kind of pulls the eye over there. And also I tried to use like the same color in different places, so it kind of guides the eye. Also the darks, I have a path of dark here in the front, and then like it's the dirt of the where the plants are growing, where the flowers are growing, and then in the back I have that dark too, the dark of the earth, the dirt. So the eye can kind of travel, and I will be doing some plants here, some flowers here in the front, and I'll be putting some flowers there near the house. I don't remember if that's on the... Oh, here's the rubbing alcohol. So I'm using 90%. Some people say it should be 70%, or it's less harmful for the paper, but I've been using this one, and pastelmat is a wonderful paper for pastels, so you can do it. It doesn't even wrap or anything. It's just it's very, very good, this paper. I love it. So as you can see, with this rubbing alcohol, I am kind of diluting the first layer of pastels, and when it dries, it kind of brings back a lot of the tooth of the paper. Not that you need it in pastelmat, because it takes a lot of layers, but some pastels, mainly the ones for the sky, actually almost all, were kind of somewhat soft. I think there was Unison and maybe even some Sennelier that are really soft, and so I wanted to have the tooth of the paper. I could also do that using that fixative spray. It gives a tooth to the paper, and you can layer over that. So, but it's very smelly and I don't really like to use it because I am painting indoors, and even though I usually paint when my daughter's not at home and I'm alone at home, I don't know, it's just not that easy for me to be spraying that around, because I paint in my living room because I don't have a studio now. So I try to avoid it, and this is a good way, a very good way. The rubbing alcohol, or maybe a little bit of a sponge of some kind from packaging and whatnot. You can use some foam. I wanted to say foam, not sponge. You can use foam for smoothing things out, and it kind of gets the pastel, like it becomes really not unfocused, like unfocused, because it drags the pastel into the paper, and it has this fuzzy look, and then you can build over and make details if you want. So the rubbing alcohol, all you have to do is let it dry completely before you apply pastel. I mean, you can apply it, but the pastel will be like gripping a lot into it. If it's dry to the touch, you feel it gets really cold, and when it feels like warmer again, it's kind of dry to the touch, so you can keep layering. And if you don't have to use rubbing alcohol everywhere, and you can use it more than in just one layer. In the under layer, you can use it however you want. Actually, in this case, I am using it just in after this first layer of pastel. And as you can see, I am using soft pastels and art pastels whenever I want. It was in this case it was more because of the color of the colors I had and not the softness. Just in the end, in the beginning, I used art pastels just to kind of sketch where I wanted the lines to be or the division of the paper. And in the end, I'll be doing some stems or grasses that I'll be using art pastels for that too. Because it's a different, you can do a different mark using art pastels. You can get much more fine lines and whatnot. So that's what I'll be using art pastels for, specifically art pastels that I probably couldn't use the softer pastels like Sennelier. I have a bunch of those, or Unison, or some. This is a Sennelier. They are very buttery and they just kind of melt. So mainly in a sanded paper like this pastelmat. So you have to have a very light touch so it doesn't absolutely consume the grain of the paper in just one go, because you want a layer. The one thing I've learned from all these years I've been painting and drawing, but in this case painting, is the layering. The layering, it's what gives it that little extra thing. If you have the patience and layering is so good for the finished painting. It gives you a lot of depth and interest, and your eye kind of, it's like a treat. It's very different from just, it makes it very 3D and very interesting for the eye, very complex. So just layer and layer pencils, oils, gouache, whatever, just layer. Of course, you have to understand the medium and the tools you have to be able to layer. So in pastel, to be able to layer is, like I said, the rubbing alcohol, using some foam to smudge it, and then you'll get more tools. The fixative spray, you can use like harder pastels in the beginning, so they're not as buttery as other pastels, and they will not use so much tooth of the paper. So those are a few tips for being able to layer with this kind of medium. And I think that's a very important thing to know with pastels. Then, like with any other medium, you have to understand kind of a composition. Like I've been studying a little bit more of that, because it's hard. You have to know some things. You have to know value, contrast, to don't have tangents in your sketches, in your drawings. There are so many other things I want to learn about it, and I don't know that I don't yet know. But if you're trying to get better, you cannot be just watching videos from other people or reading books or whatnot. You have to grab your materials and paint. And if it's not absolutely great, that's fantastic, because in 2 years from now you can do a video comparing your artwork, what you were to what you are able to do now. So, and if not a video, just comparing yourself or showing others, your family or your friends. But if you don't practice, the brush strokes here, it's not really brush, but it kind of is. It's like using the material to make a mark. All those things you acquire while practicing, and that you have you have to do to get better. So I really thought I couldn't do these flowers that well. And it was I noticed I am painting from back to front. I'm trying to do that, but I tend to go back to the middle because I think I was kind of scared to do the flowers because I was kind of liking that back, the sky. I liked the sky a lot, and that yellow field or greenish bright field against the mountains was. I liked it. I wasn't very fond of the house, and I kind of like the trees, that distant trees, but I was kind of afraid to tackle the flowers in the front. How the hell? Because when I started doing it, like right on this step or in the first layer before I added alcohol, I was like, oh, this doesn't look anything like what I want to do. And it was a really bad, ugly stage, and I was like, oh my god. So I was kind of tempted to let it go and don't even go further, and I was having trouble with that house too. It's not perfect. I mean, the process wasn't like just roses. It was hard, but you have to push through and keep going. It's in the end, I kind of like it. It's not that bad, and I learned some things, and I learned that I need to learn how to paint houses in the distance. Well, the water is not exactly as I wanted it also. Well, but then I kept trying to do these flowers, and in the end they're not as bad as I thought they were going to be. There's don't forget, there's always that ugly stage that can really make you leave it and just go cry in a corner, but don't, because that's a waste of tears. It's just an experience. I was just doing this. Well, this wasn't just an experience. I was trying to do this to maybe offer. But then, I mean, just this was like an exercise to see if I could do this bigger for to give to a friend. So that there was a little pressure. There was a little pressure. And yeah, I was getting a little frustrated with the flowers in the house, but then it was, in the end, I liked it, and I wouldn't mind giving it to that friend because it's where I am now. And so I will leave you with some music. Don't forget to don't give up when we're at the ugly stage. And comment in the I hope you do this one with me, and leave me, if you do, please tag me like on Instagram or something if you post your work there, so I can see your results. I would love to see that. So if you got any value out of this video, that it's that I hope you do, please give me the thumbs up and comment in the link below, and subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell so you can be notified when other videos like this come out. And tell me if you like this kind of videos, these comments in longer videos, or just the ones that are sped, because I would like to help others to create and to share what I've learned. I think it's so much easier to learn by watching a video than reading from a book. I'm sorry if this is controversial, but that's how I feel. if I am watching something and the person, it's like they're exemplifying, and sometimes it's not that easy to see on a book or that you're reading, and it's really but it's really important that you get your hands on it and really practice, because just watching it's also not enough. You need to do it yourself, so you can even see where are your difficulties. So I hope this gets you to paint. Gets you, like, if she can do it, I can do it. All the steps are in here. You can see everything I'm doing. Maybe you don't have exactly the same pastels as I do, but as you can see, I'm using hard pastels, soft pastels, and just going with the flow. You don't have to use exactly the same colors. You can even do an absolutely different color palette. So yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say about this painting. So if you enjoyed this one, just give me the thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.